In previous videos, I explained how we define front, and side techniques in Taekwondo. So to complete the series, I'll talk about techniques that have the word back or side back in its name. But first, well, a big thank you to Miren Patel for designing that intro for me. His details can be seen in the description below. He sent the intro to me in the morning of Christmas Day. So when I opened the file for the first time, it was a nice surprise. I felt like a kid opening up his presents. I like the intro very much, thank you. Let me start by talking about techniques that have the word side back in its name. Now, if you remember in a previous video, I described side front techniques, such as side front blocks, side front punches, strikes and thrusts. And there were many examples, all using different tools. Now they all follow the same rules in that the body must be full facing the target and the blocking or attacking tool reaches the shoulder line at the moment of impact. And because of this, side front techniques can be considered as a category. But if you search for side back techniques in a Taekwondo encyclopedia, you'll only find one or two. There are no side back blocks, no side back punches. There may be one side back thrust, which I'll speak about later, but there's definitely one side back strike. The side back strike mainly uses the back fist, but can also use the backhand, but this is rare. But in both cases, it is used to attack somebody in the side rear. But unlike side front strikes, the side back strike doesn't have to be in a full facing position. It could also be in a half facing position. If you look at pattern Taekwon-Do, there are three movements that are side back strikes. The third and sixth movement are both back fist side back strikes with the body in a full facing position because it's done in close stance. And the 28th movement is done in a half facing position because it's done in L stance. But in both cases, the back fist is always full facing the target. The side back strike can be done in almost any stance, but it's mainly done in closed stance, sitting stance and walking stance. Now for techniques that have the word back in its name. Now there's obviously kicks such as back piercing kick, back snap kick, but we're not talking about kicks in this series. I'll leave that for another video. If you search the Taekwondo encyclopedia for other techniques using the word back, you won't find any back blocks, back punches or back strikes, but there is an example of a back elbow thrust. But the words back elbow are used to describe the tool, not the thrust. And this is to describe the orientation of the elbow. So it's questionable whether this is considered a back thrust or just a thrust using the back elbow. But I think this is irrelevant because if it's the only technique that can be considered as a back technique, then back techniques cannot be considered as a category. So it doesn't matter whether it is or isn't a back thrust. Now, speaking of elbow thrusts, there is a technique called twin side back elbow thrust. But again, the words twin side back elbow refer to the tool rather than the technique. So again, it's questionable whether this is a side back thrust. But in my opinion, it is, because like the side back strike, it is also attacking an opponent to the side rear. So perhaps the best way to describe a side back attack is one that attacks to the side rear. And likewise, a back attack is one that attacks directly to the rear. But as we have seen, there are very few examples of these. So please tune in for my next video where I'll be describing blocking and attacking tools using different parts of the hand. So look out for that one. Until then, goodbye.